everybody. Today I will be retouching an image that I did recently with this 11-year-old model, well, expiring model. She came to me and her mom came to me wanting to do a shoot to get her into modeling, so I decided that I would do it because this little girl is adorable, and I think that she would definitely be a great model one day. And so I'm honored to be able to shoot her and provide her a good portfolio. So today, this video is going to be maybe a 4-part video. So I'll separate it up for you guys. So let's get started. So if you watched my videos before, you notice that I typically open up my images in camera raw, and I'll go through my settings. And if you watch the previous ones, you notice that my sharpening I set to 43, detail radius 1.6, and details at 38, and my enable lens profile correction enable. I shot this with a Canon, with my Canon 5D Mark III, with my Canon 100 prime millimeter lens, f2.8L lens, and at f10 1/60th of a second ISO 100. I shot this in my studio in my apartment. Typically, this is what I usually shoot around between f9, f10, and ISO 100. So this is a 16-bit image that I'll be retouching, and as again, I'm using the panel that I got from an amazing retoucher, Bella Ortiz. I try to promote her business because she's amazing. So I suggest that everyone use this panel because it definitely will save time. Definitely will save time on your work. But if you go to her website, bellaortizphotography.com, and you go to retouching and tutorials, and you can get it here. And it's about $75, I think it's $75 for the file itself, or for the actual package, but it's well worth it. Well worth it. The actual panel works in CS5 and CS6 and CC. So if you have CC14 and CC15, the panel itself doesn't work. You would have to pretty much take the actions from the panel, from the folder, and add the actions into your Photoshop 14 or 15. As what I've done right here. So I just color coded mine to indicate the different sections that I typically use. And if you don't know how to add actions, I can show you in another video on how to add the actions. So this at the comments below, if you want to learn if you purchase a panel, you want to learn how to add the actions to your Photoshop, just send me a comment at the bottom, and I can walk you through on how to actually do it. Alright, so let's get started. So first we're going to do this first part is going to be the frequency separation for the texture layer and the frequency separation for the blend layer. In the next video, I'm going to do the dodge and burn for micro and macro. Next video after that, we're going to do the whitening of areas if we have to, but I might try to blend that in with the dodge and burn. So I guess the third video will probably be sharpening the image, and I might try to fit another fourth video in there, maybe for black and white or something, but we'll see how this goes. So for this first part, we're going to do the frequency separation for texture and blend. So of course it creates a Gaussian blur layer, and we keep it at 14 pixels, or depending on the file size of the image, you can go higher or lower. But I typically keep it at 14 pixels. And then what it does, it creates a high copy and it clips it down to the high layer. So if you have to go back for any reason, you can go back. And then it creates a low layer for the texture. I'm sorry, for the color, for the low. So there's several methods that I use when removing the blemishes and the acne on people's faces. Usually I use the healing brush. Well, I've noticed with her image, because I use a 100mm macro, is sometimes leave spotty areas. So lately I've been using the clone stamp tool on her image. So I'm about 15% or so for her image on this. And I typically have this turned off, the pressure opacity. I have it turned off, but we'll turn it on when we do the actual with the brush and everything. So, oops. So you just spend about maybe 10 minutes or so doing this, where we just go around the entire skin and we just remove all the blemish areas. Like I said, I typically spend not a lot of time on it, but enough to where we remove everything around. Okay, computer's acting up. So with this, we kind of just build up and remove everything. We don't just take it completely away, but just remove all the blemish areas. And for her image, she has fairly decent skin. I mean, she's 11. This young lady is 11 years old, and she's gorgeous. When I first met her, I had no clue that she was that young. I thought she was a little bit older, maybe 16. But you know, these kids these days, they grow up fast. So when I was 11 years old, I looked like I was 5. But she's gonna go really far in her career if she decides to pursue modeling. So, but she has decent skin. You know, she's 11, so of course, you know, she's starting to have the acne areas. I mean, acne in her face and pimples, but it's fairly decent. So she's good. So what we do is we try to clone around the general area where the blemish is. We don't clone down here. We don't select down here and then clone up here. We try to stay in the general area where the blemish is. So let's try to speed up this area. Let's go pretty fast. I'm using a Wacom tablet, Intuos Pro small. I definitely recommend getting a tablet when retouching. It'll definitely make your life a lot easier. I've had one gentleman that I'm actually mentoring. He watched my video and went out and bought the tablet, and it definitely is definitely excited about it, and he can definitely tell the difference between retouching from a tablet with a mouse. With a mouse, you wouldn't be able to get this detailed into the image. You probably would take a little bit longer retouching the image. So zoom in and a little spot. Go in. I don't really know how much the tablets are now. I think they have better ones out than the ones that I have, the Intuos Pro I got last year. But anyone you get it, it'll be a lot better than using a mouse. What we're going to do is we're going to change from this and go to the spot healing. We're going to just do that. And then we're going to go back to the clone. Just kind of bring some texture back. Okay. Put this down here. All right, and should be good. So not that bad. Like I say, everything will get even out once we get to the actual blend layer part of it. So I typically do this first before I do anything else. All right. Okay. So now what we do, to bring a little bit of texture back into the image, I usually go to the low layer and bring the fill down to about 90%, just to bring a little bit of texture back in the image. So merge that down. Oh, close that up, and then we hit the frequency separation blend layer. So what this is going to do, it's going to create, again, you're going to create a Gaussian blur layer and at about 7 pixels. So for her images, I usually put it at about 9 or 10. We'll do about 9. And you hit OK, and then what it's going to do is going to create a high texture layer and a 2 low layers for the color. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be retouching on the low 2 copy. So if we have to, for some odd reason, if we make a mistake, we can delete this layer, and then we can actually duplicate this layer again. It'll be another low 2 copy. If we find anything that we missed in the texture layer, we can actually fix it here in the high 2 texture. So, all right. So for instance, like actually right here, this little area right here, let me fix that little dark area. I mean, it's nothing major, but I probably can fix it in the color area. Okay. So typically what I do is I go to the low copy tool, select my brush, at around 3 or 4% for my flow, and my opacity for the brush opacity is turned on. And usually I turn off the high 2 layer just to kind of see a little bit better of the color and how it's blending. So I got my brush, and we just start painting. So we do a selection. So you just want to stay in the area where the color is that you're painting. So over here, we select that darker area there, and we just start painting in the area. And all it's really doing is just kind of sort of like a blending, like a dodge and burn, sort of kind of, but not really. You're just dodging, basically just blending the color with the color versus with black and white. So we just go around and we just blend in the color. And it's highlight area. So just select and we just stay in the area where we're selecting. So we spent about a few minutes on this. Not too hard. Okay. And we come down here to this highlight area, and we just kind of even everything out. So typically what I tell everybody about retouching is that you want to give your images a little TLC, time, love, and care. If you spend time on your image, you'll see really good results. If you blow through them, then you'll see your results. So I typically try to explain to people to just take your time as you're retouching your images. I guess if you want great images, you'll spend some time on it. Now, I don't consider myself a retoucher. I don't retouch anybody else's photos but my own. I'm a photographer that retouches his own images, but I think that I'm skilled enough to show others how to do it. I'm not an amazing retoucher. I think I'm decent for only doing photography for 3 years and retouching for 3 years, but I'm getting better. And I think if you, like I say, just spend a little bit of time, you can also retouch really good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna soften this up a little bit, this area underneath the eye, and darken this area right here. So if you have any questions about certain things about retouching, you're more than welcome to message me and or comment on below, and I can try to answer your questions for you. If it's too advanced from what I typically do, I'll be more than happy to help you or try to find solutions for it and post a video about it. So we're gonna get her neck down here. Like I said, we just stay in the area. So typically what this does, what I've noticed is that this is kind of like flattening the image color wise, and then basically we just basically build back up when it comes to the dodge and burn area or time the photo. Let's get her lips a little bit too. Blend that together. Alright, do a nose. Okay. Get her ear a little bit too. Alright, so we turn on the high 2 layer and see what we got. So let's go before and then after. So what you've seen already is that we just kind of just blended everything together and kind of made everything a little even. And basically what this does is basically just flattens the image out. And like I said, we'll build back up to the image once we get to the actual micro dodge and burn and the dodge and burn area. So as of right now, this is what we have so far for the texture layer. So in the next part 2, we will continue with the micro dot, or actually, I forgot, I need to do one more thing, actually. Yeah, so we got to do the copy, blend, and merge layer. So what this does is it basically takes the layer that you want to copy, and it takes the texture and the color and it merges it together, and it basically blends it and makes it even. So on the low 2 copy, we're going to basically select the area, only the area where that certain color is. So we're not going to just circle her whole entire forehead. We're going to basically just go by section. So what we do is we go here and we just kind of circle around here and stay in this area. Now, if you don't have, when you copy this action to your Photoshop 14 or 15, you probably won't have this copy, blend, and merge layer here, these actions. So what I'm going to do is in the video, when I show you how to add the action, I'm going to actually show you how to create a copy action, create a blend action, and create a merge action within here, so you don't have to manually do it. But you hit copy, and what all it really does is copy that section that you pick, and it creates it and it copies on its own layer. And then we hit blend, and blending is just taking basically a Gaussian blur area, and at 13 pixels, and we're gonna bump this up to about 30 or so, and hit OK. And then we're going to take, and because if you notice in this general area over here, kind of bleeds over into the hair a little bit, so we take the eraser tool and we just go in that area and we just erase in that general area. And this is really the only time that I really use the erase tool. I don't use the erase tool hardly ever, only on this part. If you have to erase anything, my professional suggestion is to create a mask. And for those of you that don't know how to create a mask, you just on the layer, you just click the layer you want, and you come here to the mask layer, and it creates a white layer. And then all you do is go to your brush and you pick black. So white reveals, black hides. So we want to reveal what we just did. So basically what you do is just at 100%, we want to reveal everything that we just did. We want to bring it back. So black brush, white mask, and we just go like that. And basically what that does, it basically reveals what we just what we just did. And if you wanted to bring back what we had, we just switch the brush to white, and then we just paint back. Let me turn this off so it'll be faster. And then we just paint back, and all that really does basically is just brings back what we already done. But if you erase, then you kind of basically you're destroying the pixels in the image. So masking is like the best thing to do. All right, so let's just erase that. And apply, okay. All right. So move forward. So we merge it down. Merging is just Command E, and we just want to select this area and copy, blend. We're gonna bump it up to about 30, and okay, and merge down, and come to this highlight area, copy, blend, 30 so, and hit OK, and merge down. And all we basically just do is we just go around the face and we just doing the same thing. We just, typically you'll see me where I might not put it at 30 because I don't want it to bleed over too much. So, but merge down, copy, blend. That's good, 24%. And we get this highlight area here, all right here. merge down, copy, blend, and we'll put it about maybe 24 also. Hit OK. Merge layer. This little section right here, cheekbone area, copy, blend, about 30. And we'll merge down. Copy, blend. Merge. And get right here, this little section down here. And this might bleed over into the neck area a little bit, so we'll see. And if it does, it's fine a little bit, I guess, because this area is dark down here anyway, but we'll erase it out. Okay, go back, get our highlight on our nose, copy, oops, I'm gonna merge down first. All right, now copy and blend. Okay. So this is one of them things where it's a tedious thing, but you have to be very detailed in order to get the results that you're looking for. So really can't rush through it, because if so, then it won't look right. So the end goal for this is to get a pretty decent photo, retouch wise, where you have very good texture in the skin. And when I shot this, I used a Alien B strobe with the beauty dish, as you can see right here in the catch light of her eyes, and I used a reflector, white reflector underneath her neck to kind of fill that area, so it won't be too hard. So your lighting has to be pretty good in order to capture really good headshots. It's kind of hard to edit photos when your lighting is really bad. So if you edit your own photos and you do your own lighting, you can kind of typically fix some areas. But when you're a retoucher and you have to edit someone else's photos, I've heard that retouchers hate that. So make sure when you're shooting it that you are lighting your subject well. All right, let's see. Let's get this little area right here. Okay. And let's go down to our neck area. Merge. Oops. So we're almost done this section of the video. Got about 2 more spots left to do. Merge, and this last area. And merge down. Okay. Let's go over. I think I'm gonna do this area right here. The lip. Yeah. Okay. And merge down. Okay. And let me do this last little piece. She has very good skin. Okay. Merge. This area. Okay. All right. I think we are looking good. So this is the before, and so far here's the after of just the frequency separation for texture and the frequency separation for the blend. Alright, so we'll move on to the next part in part 2.